Hello world. I think I speak for a lot of people, myself included, when I say Flex is really hard to play, especially in this case where I'm on patch 4.5 on the PBE server, and I still don't even know what all the comps do. So even though I have 28 hit points at stage 3-7, and I'm on a 10 game losing streak, which only 5 is of fortune, I put together a few basic things I know about the game, and I was able to dig my way out of this giant hole, and I'm going to hopefully be able to teach you guys to do the same thing in your games. So if you want to learn how to cash out like this fortune I'm about to do, go ahead and like the video and throw me a subscription, and we can both fail at Flex together. So as you can see, the first thing I'm doing is leveling to 8, because I can't afford to lose any more rounds, and I want to cash out even though it's only a 5 game streak with fortune. Basically, I'm trying to find some kind of Olaf or Tryndamere or Swain or any really big carry unit that I can just throw in here. The only unit worth saving on this whole board is probably just the Nico with the blue buff. So my general strategy at this point is try to get Fabled and go from there. Most of my board is 1 star, and even though I have a few 3-cost units, I don't have a problem selling them off. And just like that, I get a giant twofer. I win the round, so I get the 1 gold that I can buy Olaf with, and he is my new carry. Bada boom, bada bing. My fortune cash out ends up being 9 gold and 2 sets of thieves' gloves. My instinct was to immediately put one on Olaf, because he's my carry. But GA is actually a really good item on Olaf, and I have a sword on the bench, and I have a belt on Kench. I didn't even mean to rhyme there. Oh my goodness. So I probably should have put a GA on Olaf, because I also still have a bow, so I can throw a Rage Blade or an RFC on him as well later on. And I could easily just throw the other Thieves' Gloves on someone like Garen, who I'm just going to sell off anyways. Also note that I sold the Fortune Kench because I don't need Fortune anymore. At this point, I'm looking to get rid of the garbage like Garen, and then build upon the other things I have, like maybe going 6 Slayer and 3 Fabled. And since a general good strategy is to buy 4 and 5 cost units you come around, I actually find Shen and Yone, so now I have Adept. Now as you can see, my board is still pretty weak, so I don't really expect to win this next round, but Carousel is next round, so I'll get first pick, and hopefully I'll find something there that'll strengthen my board. I didn't really see any items that I really wanted, so I went ahead and picked the Orn up, and hopefully I'll just get an ornament, and he's also worth 5 gold, so win-win. Hey, remember that time when I said I should get an Olaf with a GA and an RFC? That'd be kind of good. Well, yeah, I went ahead and sold my Thieves' Gloves Olaf and made a new one. Now, I'm not sure if this is the best move because obviously I don't get Olaf 2 until later, but now I'm guaranteed good items on him, and so he can be a carry. But as you can see, I'm slowly transitioning my board from a bunch of useless 1 costs, and now I have 4 Slayer, Yone with Adept, and I have an Orn, so let's go. I think the game is laughing at me because it knows I'm not playing Zed, so it's throwing all these Shens at me. Rude. And if we look all the way back to when I said Nico was the only good unit on the board, well, here's chosen Nico. So at this point I'm thinking maybe I don't go 6 Slayer, since I have the 2 Adept now. I'll just keep what I have currently and then go from there. There's really only 2 other things I need to do. The first one is find the 3rd Fable, which is going to be Cho'Gath because there's only 3 of them total. And then the second thing is I need to upgrade this Darius for my 3rd Slayer. But as you can see, problem with that is I need to get 3-star Nico and find Cho'Gath and get a better Darius unit, and I'm way off from level 9. So how am I going to do all that? Magic. At this point, I'm actually somewhat happy because I'm in 6th place on a 3-game winning streak. I'm 1 off Nico. I just upgraded Olaf and Darius, even though I'm going to sell Darius later, hopefully. And I just made an Orn item. And did you see that little beauty pop out of Orn's butt? That was actually a Mana Zane. After the wearer casts their spell for the first time each combat, they restore 100 mana over 6 seconds. I ended up putting that on Nico, even though I forgot that I already had a blue buff for her, but there's nowhere else I can really put it. And I'm basically keeping the same positioning almost every round. I'm throwing the tanky stuff up front with the Orn, Shen, and Nautilus, the Nico in the corner, protected by the Olaf and Darius, and then kind of a roaming Tryndamere and Yone. And if I was smart that round, I would have actually used the locket that randomly appeared on Yone to frontline and put on Shen and Orn. As you saw, Orn popped out his ornament, so like any good pimp, I saw the Swain and was like, ooh, a better model. So I kicked Orn to the curb. This also gets me closer to Dragon Soul, which will help out my Olaf even more. I was really close to just bum rushing in and getting that Swain with the Zephyr, just so I would be closer to have a Swain too, but that's always a bad idea. Unless you're on the last round of the game, it's usually not a good idea to get an item just because it's on a unit that you need. I took another quick look at my board and remembered, derp, you need a Cho'Gath, and boom, Cho'Gath with Shojin. And I will go ahead and let my favorite announcer summarize how I felt right now.
Steven Jackson's David. Reggie Miller's looking good. He shoots a 3, and it's good. Later, he gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
I really hope you guys enjoyed his awkwardness as much as I do. And speaking of awkward, I had to get rid of my best buddy Swain that I just picked up, because now I have a new best buddy Cho'Gath.
Later, he gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
You can't blame me for using that twice. It is pure gold. I gotta admit, I was pretty disappointed with these items I got. I mean, looking back, almost all of my slots are filled. That's what she said. And I was really thinking more of like Morello on Cho'Gath so I could get some more damage output. So I just threw them all on Shen and said, have fun. I figured I'd just go over my thought process one more time since now we're 7 wins into the winning streak. That's pretty good, right? Pretty good. I'm still 1 Nico away from 3-star. I hit Fabled. I'm still at 3 Slayer. I'm not going 6, I don't have the room for it. I got the 2 Adept with that now 3 item Shen up front. Hopefully my front line will distract the other team long enough that my Olaf and Nico can do some damage. And I have 3 Mystic, and I might as well get a zillion and have 4. That's kind of where I'm going. I figured I'd also just leave this fight up the whole time because almost all of these are going the same way. I have about 5 guys at the end of the round, and I'm pretty much just beating faces. This was the 2nd place guy, and I just demolished him. Now, I'm not getting overly complacent because, of course, I could just lose 1 round and that's it for me. As George Bush once said,
there's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Just in time for Nico 3 and Tryndamere 2. At this point, I finally start scouting around. Obviously, I should have been doing it the whole game, but I was too focused on just dying and getting 8th real quick. I still wasn't even doing it when I had a 5, 6, 7, 8 win streak, and so here's lucky number 9. So my plan is to move Nautilus in front of Lee to bait the kick, and then put Yone in the backline to help with assassins. Good news is, Nautilus baited the kick. Bad news is, Lee had so much mana that he didn't even auto-attack, he just instantly kicked, and he actually hit my Yone somehow. But the other half of my plan did work, and Yone killed Zed. Then he turned and almost killed Lee, who Olaf then turned and killed, and we had 4 people left to kill Azir. This is one of those moments where I thankfully took my time to see what I had on the bench, because many a time in the past, I have completely forgotten that I have a spatula, and then I skip the other spatula on the carousel, and my opponents say, bro, why don't you make a fawn? And then I have a meltdown, etc., etc. But this time, I was smarter than a 5th grader. As soon as I saw Set, I kind of already had my mind made that I was going to pick it up because I knew Cho'Gath is a brawler. And even though Set 1 is kind of garbage, I figured it would help make Cho'Gath more beefy, like a Slim Jim. But I still picked up Janna just in case I scouted around and I would need to put in 4 Mystic. But it looked like it might be better to just have a bigger front line with Set. I just faced Mr. Kindred in the last round and I beat him. So I know I'm going to be facing Mr. Lee this round. And I see him switch his lead to the other side of the board. So I move my Nautilus over by him again, but I put him too far to the left, so Lee still ends up going towards my Tryndamere. The good thing is, Tryndamere did his spin to win to the other side of the map, so instead of Lee kicking him into my whole group of Olaf, Nico, and Cho'Gath, he actually just kicked him off the left side of the board. And then I can just let my cleanup crew do the rest. And I don't know if you can see it, but on the right side where the damage is, Nico did 10,600 damage, and Olaf did 7,700 damage. Unfortunately, I just got a hurricane on the creep round, but the good thing is I do find set 2, so I just throw it on him because it doesn't really fit anywhere else. The saddest part about the whole series of events that you're about to see is that while I tried to fool out the guy with the least sin who didn't even move it anyways, I put all my guys in the wrong places. I didn't even see the double Zeeks on Tryndamere, and I still end up putting Shen right next to Lee like an idiot. On the other hand, Nico did 9,900 damage, so doesn't really matter. Alright, boys and girls, here we go. Last round. My Thieves Gloves decided to give me a Zephyr, so I am gonna win this, no problem. Don't worry about it. It's game over. Insert another cliche phrase here. Zephyr the Olaf, because that's where his damage comes from. What's he gonna do? Nothing. At this point, it's 5 on 3. Okay, 4 on 3. Okay, 3 on 3. 2 on 3? Okay, well, he's just hacking, so it's whatever. As long as you follow the other steps I've gone through so far, hopefully you'll be able to recover from a really unfortunate opening, and then when the final boss comes around, he didn't use cheat codes to beat you up. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you don't have access to PBE, the official version comes out very soon, so I will see you there.